Welcome to Life Planning 101, brought to you by Smart Money Group and Kennedy Financial Services in Eastland, Texas. Tune in every week as we share important information to help you and your family live life on purpose. Insurance, investments, legacy and tax planning, and much more. All covered now on Life Planning 101.
Here we are with another episode of Black and White Market Minute on Life Planning 101. Matt Ervin and Aaron Kennedy back in, studio, back in Texas this week. We were out of town last week and
back at home.
Learning a few things. So, Aaron, we picked a heck of a week to come home. I guess maybe we'll blame that on you. I don't know. But anyways, we got a few things to hit on this week. But, Aaron, I won't waste any more time. Let's get right to it.
All right. This has been a absolutely fantastic week for the market. We got the inflation numbers yesterday, and I think we were looking for, or the market as a whole was looking at 7.9%, and it came in at 7.7. So inflation is moving the right direction, and the market exploded. I think the NASDAQ was up about 7%.
Yeah, it was wild.
S&P was 5%. Just a fantastic day, and the belief is now that inflation's going the other way, the Fed's going to start cutting interest rates, and the market's acting that way. Interest rates as a whole are acting that way. The U.S. dollar is acting that way. So the market across the board is seeing the Fed pivot, and I don't know if I'm really ready to believe that. Just some numbers out there. If we're looking at month-over-month growth of inflation, fuel, oil, that kind of stuff is up about 20%. Eggs were up 10%. Vehicles were up 2%. This is month-over-month. So where did the good numbers come from? Jewelry
was down. Used cars were down.
Used cars. Health insurance. Not my health insurance, but I guess people that are just now coming to the market, health insurance is coming down. The things that we all use as humans are still going through the roof.
Right.
And it's like these little esoteric things in the market are going down, and we're declaring victory. But one of the things that I keep wondering is, why in the world would the Fed pivot? Why would the Fed start cutting interest rates? And the only reason they would do that is if things got really bad. What does that entail?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Because you don't goose the market for no reason. You have to add fuel to the fire when things are really, really bad. And we're not there yet. So why are we pricing in that all of a sudden interest rates are going to go back down? It's got me a little confused.
I think human nature says we're extremely impatient, and so people are begging for an answer to be right. As humans, we want to be right. We want it right now.
Yes.
So the two things. So all that speculation now, they're not lifting the hood like you did and get to the facts of what really dropped month over month. And it really was, from the sounds of it, not as much material facts. No. It was not the stuff we're using.
No, not at all. And what do we have coming down the road later on? We've drained our strategic petroleum reserves.
Right.
And I think we're safe to do that. I mean, the only reason I wouldn't want to do that is, if there was war in Europe, or a threat of war in Asia, because then we'd want as much fuel as possible.
They can't see your face, Aaron. So thank you. That was a joke out there. Yeah, we need oil, and we need it. And so another thing is China trying to come back online a little bit, right?
Yeah,
so that's
a big thing. They're opening the doors, taking off the COVID restrictions. So what do you do with an economy that large once they start using things? It's not going to be good for the inflation picture.
Well, it goes back to, when we first started doing this, we talked a lot about islands and seashells and coconuts and that kind of thing. And it's like, just because China comes back online doesn't mean, poof, there's more coconuts and seashells to trade amongst each other. No. This thing takes time to develop, years, in fact.
Yes. But that's exactly right. Getting things back online is going to take some time and a lot of money. But while we're waiting to do that, those people are going to be going to the restaurants for the first time in months or years, going and doing elective surgeries, going back to work. There's a lot of spending and a lot of items that need to be supplied to them. And prices are already up quite a bit. And so now it just brings one more superpower country to be competing for those supplies.
Well, and when you say, you touched on it a little bit earlier, but we talked about the weakness of the dollar that happened this week. And so that makes those things that are available, as few as they are, that much more affordable to everybody but us.
Yes. Yeah, if they're buying our oil that's coming down a little bit, we're still extremely high. The rest of the world uses the dollar a lot more than anybody could imagine. I mean, we're the world's currency for a reason. And being this high, anybody, if you're in Japan and you're having to sell your yen to buy dollars, it's brutally painful. Europe's the same way. United Kingdom, they're all getting hurt taking their currency and buying dollars. And you think about even the smaller countries, emerging markets, a lot of their debt is in U.S. dollars because nobody had loaned money to.
So we did.
Yeah,
Great.
So we did in U.S. dollars, and now that debt just exploded by another 30% because of the strength of the dollar. It's problematic across the globe. Right. So, anyways, if the Fed's pivoting, the dollar's dropping, the market as a whole is believing this story that interest rates are coming down.
Right. We've yet to see it.
Yeah,
we need to
ready
see
to
some
see it.
More material facts. We've got to wait to hear it from Jay Powell and
yes.
have a stronger consensus. So there were some Fed presidents that spoke yesterday, and it was a little bit of a mixed bag. But again, we hadn't had the official statement out.
No official statements. The thing to remember, I was talking a little bit about this last night. Market's always looking at tomorrow. We're trying to price in what the future is going to do. So even if we're in the very deepest of a recession, the market can turn and start going upwards because we can see a light at the end of the tunnel. Even if we're in a recession, and we look at companies and say, hey, that company's going to grow by 30% 2 years from now, that starts to get priced in and the market goes up. So, every single month, every single week, every single day, we're getting that much closer to that turnaround. And then maybe it was yesterday.
Maybe it wasn't.
Maybe it wasn't.
Right. So I think that's where the discipline comes in there, and we're going to look for more days to buy in as they present themselves. We're going to look to stick to the facts and look for those opportunities, and sure, we'll take days like yesterday. It feels great.
Heck
right?
Yeah.
So that's a good day. But Aaron, we got to get wrapped up on our time here. Is there any last minute words you want to share with folks today?
No, just everybody stay positive. Don't make any rash decisions, one way or the other. The market wants to go up. It wants to. Keep that in mind, but don't do something that's going to hurt you.
Well, appreciate everybody's time today and joining our podcast right here, Black and White Market Minute on Life Planning 101.
Thank you for joining us for Life Planning 101, brought to you by Smart Money Group and Kennedy Financial Services. If you have questions, you can email them to lifeplanning@kennedy-financial.com. Be sure to tune in next week for more Life Planning 101. The opinions expressed herein are those of the firm and are subject to change without notice. The opinions referenced are as of the date of publication and are subject to change due to changes in the market or economic conditions and may not necessarily come to pass. Any opinions, projections, or forward-looking statements expressed herein are solely those of the author, may differ from the views or opinions expressed by other areas of the firm, and are only for general informational purposes as of the date indicated. Securities offered through Calton & Associates Incorporated, a registered investment advisor, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Smart Money Group LLC. Kennedy Financial Services and Smart Money Group LLC are separate entities and are not owned or controlled by Calton & Associates Incorporated.